Hello, welcome everybody. Hope you're all having a beautiful day, whatever you're doing. Just going to do, I felt called to do a luminous pathway reading here with some tarot cards. So, without further ado, we'll just get straight into it today. Right then. So, I'm just going to pick some of these ones and then we'll follow them up with some tarot cards. Just put them over there. Right. So, what would you like to show us today, Spirit? Right. I'll just lay some of these out and then we'll go through them with some tarot cards. Forgive me if I sound a bit croaky today. I'm not feeling 100%. I'm not ill, I'm just... Right. And come out a couple more, please, Spirit. Right, there we go. Right then, to start off with, we've got solutions and unlocking potential. Right, so what kind of solutions? Right, okay. Right, so we've got solutions to any sort of worries or issues that you've been worrying about. Trying to keep things juggling in the air here. As you can see, she's got it all up in the air. Unlocking potential. What I'm getting there is finding new strengths, you know, what you're capable of in moments of doubt, worry. I'm also getting depression. Yeah. Solutions. Right. So we'll just lay them all out. I will come back to them all. See what else we get for them all. Right, so on this one, I've got knowledge and ancient wisdom. Right, so with this, I've got decisions here. What I've got here is, what kind of wisdom are you seeking? You know, what choices are you making in relation to seeking that wisdom or finding out the wisdom within? Are you making the choices that align with that path of knowledge? For an example, if you're hoping to learn something like, I don't know, creative writing, as we've got the scroll here, are you taking steps to, you know, like classes or some sort of teacher or some sort of, you know, to gain that knowledge, you know, for creative writing? Or are you waiting around hoping it just falls in your lap? That's what I'm getting off that. The other thing I'm getting as well is making the choice of whether you think that is truthful knowledge or whether you're being deceived. You know, does it feel right to you? Is that, you know, true to you, true to who you are? Does it feel right? Right, on this one, I've got spring equinox, which we're nearly in, aren't we? They're not that far off now. What is it? What are we on today? The 4th? Yeah. So it's only a week or two away, a couple of weeks away. But I've got renewal, new growth and beginnings. Now I've got the power card here as well. So if you were feeling, I was going to say unpowerful then, but I don't even think that's a word, is it? Not in your power, or like someone else's, outside forces are taking your power. This spring equinox, I'm getting off this card, is it's going to bring you a whole new, renewal of your power and growth. It could also be feeling more powerful, with this new inner growth that's going on, these new beginnings. As I said before, I'm going to link them all in, but we're just going through the cards at the moment, so we'll see how the story unfolds. Right, so the spirit animal, instinct nature, personal power. Right, justice. I'm just going to move these over a little bit so we know which cards with what. So, so many things on the table here, haven't we? Right, so justice. Personal power, nature. With this one, I've got strong intuition as well as balance, but I've got natural law here. Following natural law. Yeah, that's all I've got out of that one at the moment, but as I say, we'll come back to it. Right, the butterfly. Transformation, change and rebirth. So you've got 2 different rebirth cards here. Luxury. Right, so with this one, it's like a cycle. Right, I'm just going to move that because it's in the way. Yeah, I've got some sort of cycle here, as you can see with this. I don't know whether you can see that, can you? Hold it up a little bit so you can. But we've got like the wheels. It's like a wheel turning, I like to look at it as. But I've also got communication and spiritual as well as the gold in here as well. As it's the card of luxury though and an upgrade, this transformation and change and rebirth on this card is like you upgrading or you finding more luxury in your life, more abundance, in whatever form that is. It could be material wealth, but it could also be, finding what was getting there, spirit? Sorry, hang on. Finding something within yourself that's, I can't quite grasp what they're trying to show me. I'm getting inner fire, inner gold. Inner gold. I'm getting like someone stood there with golden light. Right, we'll come back to that. Because, yeah, I'm just getting an image of someone with gold shimmering light there. Right, so we've got the feather. Lightness, messages, spiritual connection. With this one, right, what I'm getting off this is choosing a different path. In the past, someone chose a path that went off, lost the spiritual connection. This could be, from the time of birth. It doesn't have to be, losing your way. It could be that spiritual connection was severed or, coming in blind, as we all do, with the veil over. And now this one is reconnecting to spiritual connection. someone's blooming. Right, okay. Right, so we'll go back to the beginning. Right, so this one, solutions, unlocking potential. As I said in the beginning, lots of worries, juggling a lot of things around. Maybe everything's coming at you, people putting pressure on you, holding it all together. I feel like there's some sort of solution coming in here, a better way of doing things, maybe some help even. But I think this card is showing you strength. Yeah, all these things have been coming at you because it's teaching you about your own inner core strength, what you can handle. This one is making better choices, I'm getting as well on that one. Right, solutions. Some sort of solution in that, what I was just saying there, or some sort of new knowledge. Or it could be knowledge that you've always had but not recognised. Could change the course of your decision making, is what I'm getting there. So if you feel like you've always made, or maybe not the best choices, in your life at times, we all do that, don't we? This is some sort of some sort of knowledge being unlocked to help you with better decision making, is what I'm getting on that card. Spring equinox. So as I said, this is a timeless reading, but as we've got the spring equinox, and it nearly is here. Like I said, I'm on the 4th of March doing this reading, but I feel with this card, it's more personal power. You're realising your personal power. That you're not a victim. You're the creator of your own life. Yeah, you're a creator. This could go in, like I said, with the better decision making, solutions. On this one, before I said that I had natural law. So taking yourself back to understanding more about your nature. How nature works, how natural law works, maybe. Doing things that feel natural to you, not putting on a performance for other people. As an example, when someone says, oh, well, you're fine, and you go, yeah, I'm fine, but really you're not, That's just an example, but, that kind of thing. I've also got speaking up when the need arises on that one. Right, this one, as I said before, I don't know why, but yeah, I've got inner transformation, finding golden nuggets within yourself is what I'm getting here. I've got this light shining. I don't know if you can see it properly, but I've just noticed as well with gold. Can you see that? Right, we've got a shining light here, which is like a golden light, but we've also got lots of different butterflies. I've got a lot of flowers blooming here as well, which tells me that you're blooming into that next sort of, you're coming out of the caterpillar phase and into the butterfly. Yeah. And then with this, I'm getting you've found that spiritual connection. You've got that back. This could have something to do with the different choices, or because this is also a choice card. But as I said before, there was this path that you went on for a long time, and now there's a new path opening up to you. There's more connection. There's messages coming through. This could be on the physical sense, or it could be on the spiritual sense, as it, you know, it's spiritual connections. With this as well, I'm getting look out for, because you've got the nature cards as well in this card, I'm going to say look out for feathers and look out for butterflies. I'm also getting that someone might find a key that might have some significance to someone, or a book, you know, which inspires you. Right, I'm going to pull one more card each for him, see if we get anything else. So this solution, okay, too many cards there, Spirit. Let's take that one. Yes, so with this one, I've got basic good news. I've also got feminine energy here. You know, it doesn't have to be a woman, but, you know, feminine energy. So a very soft energy, maybe. A maternal energy. Goes in with this solution. So unlocking potential and solutions with the worry. Yeah, some good news coming around that. It could be some sort of help. Or maybe asking for help, since you've got the spiritual cards, you know, asking spirit to bring help if that's what you need. They're always there if you ask, but you've got to ask. You can't just help you without you asking. It's free will. I'm sure most of you already knew that, but it's just a reminder. Right, so we have got, yeah, I've got this motherly card again. So what I'm getting with these two cards together is some sort of maternal figure. As I said, there's no sex involved here. You know, it could be male or female, but some nurturing energy. Yeah, so I've got helping with this worry, or, you know, juggling things. And I've also got help with this decision making, this knowledge, this newfound wisdom. Yeah. So yeah, again, I'm getting asking for help if you need to. That could be, it doesn't have to be just with spirit. It could be in your, you know, physical. You could have someone around you who's very nurturing, or that could be what you're asking for. Or it could also be you being nurturing to yourself and to other people. I've got two here. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Right, so with this, I've got the Sun card on this renewal. Excuse me. With the spring equinox, which obviously the sun, you know, we get a lot more sunshine, or, well, it's sunny today in the UK, but that's not always the case. If you live in the UK, you know that. But, so it's longer daylight hours. So this is a very potent, you know, happiness card, power card. So there's a lot of sun shining on new possibilities, yeah, as we move further into this spring equinox. I've also got marriage, bright prospects. So if you're thinking about getting married in the spring, you know, if your wedding's coming up, you know, it will go really well. Is the feeling getting off this? It's a powerful union. Or maybe you'll be meeting someone in the spring. Yeah, that's all I'm getting on that. Right, with this one, instincts, improvement. Yeah, I've got a place of worship. Say, I'm coming back to natural, maybe getting out in nature, natural law. Not worshipping, but, you know, sanctuary is more that I'm getting. Where's your sanctuary? Do you find that sanctuary out in nature? Or maybe if you can't get out in nature much, you know, putting a couple of plants, or, you know, getting a little windowsill garden, you know, like some herbs or something. Or what I'm also getting is bright flowers, you know, bright colours will put you in a better mood. Right, with this one I've got reflection. Yeah, I've got, as you transform into this butterfly or this, you know, golden version of yourself, as it were, a little bit of self-reflection. As an example, can I have an example, please, Spirit? Yeah, looking at things that haven't worked for you before, you know, finding new solutions to things because you had the solution card. You know, maybe doing things in a different way. I also get with this card, though, there will be a lot of people looking at you and thinking, wow, you've changed. Which isn't a bad thing, you know. Yeah, I'm getting, people are going to notice the change in you. You're going to notice the change. You're not going to quite feel like the same person you were after this transformation. You know, a better version of yourself, a more updated is a better word, updated version of yourself, you know, you're more yourself. That's what I'm getting. You're more yourself than ever before. And people and yourself are starting to notice that. And then finally we have, right, with this one I've got, when you find that path closer to spirit or listening to spirit, you know, your inner guidance, that's what, you know, it is. It's inner, not outer. I mean, you might see signs, like I said before, with feathers and butterflies and whatever, but it comes from within, yeah? I feel that the more you go down that path, you will find some sort of career or some sort of work, humanity work. I'm getting paid work. I'm also getting spirit is giving you a message as much as your free will allow to find the next step on a path if you were looking for a career change. The finances will come in. That won't be an issue. Trust. The right people will be there to help. Trust. Right, that's all I'm getting on that one. Right, so I hope you got something out of that. Please leave a like or a comment if you did. Consider subscribing. And I hope you have a very beautiful day, whatever you're doing. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.